Hey, it's been some time. Welcome to my lair. Today we'll be speaking about predator catching channels on YouTube. What are predator catching channels on YouTube? Channels where they go on social media. They tend to act as a minor. They will not initiate a conversation. They wait until the predator initiates a conversation with them to keep it under legal means and so that legally things can be done. They make sure not to harass. Some are borderline harassing though. Some are very influential on the platform, very influential to their community, and have stopped many bad people. It's one of my favorite genres, and it's also one of the most niche, unexplored genres out there on YouTube. We'll be starting today's video off speaking with predator poachers. Before we do so, I'd like to say I have an album coming up, and that's where I've been most of my time. The other most of my time I've been hanging out with family, or I've been talking with friends, hanging out with friends, doing things with friends, or dealing with personal matters. I've also been recently engaged. I've recently had my fiance meet me in person, and we've had a lot of fun together, doing many things together. We plan on getting married either this Christmas or the beginning of next year. I'm very happy with my partner, and I couldn't be more happy with anyone else. And I really hope this relationship lasts a lifetime. And if you're watching, thank you for sticking with me for over the amount of time we've been together, over the year, over a year and a half now. We're going to be going into our second year soon, and I'm excited. I love you. Now we'll be starting with predator poachers, who is most infamously known for catching EDP 445. Alex Moore, commonly called Chet Goldstein. He's also very known for catching the Predator Messiah. Many was very critical of his handling of the case towards EDP 445, but redeemed himself with his countless arrests, most notably the Predator Messiah that happened after EDP 445. He travels the entirety of the country in order to catch these people. He's also one of the original channels doing so. He is iconic for his balding orange hair, his bright orange beard, and his lines revolving around calling police. He tends to call police fried pickles, and he even capitalizes it off very smartly with merchandise based off calling fried pickles. He uses it as a code word, and he used many channels. Emphasis on used as he moved to Rumble, sadly. He posted on Predator Poachers and VCap Alex Rose, Southeast Predator Poachers, your boy JDQ, and Chet Goldstein, as well as probably plenty more, as a way of boosting the amount of awareness, the amount of videos he can upload at a time, and, well, just many other very convenient reasons. He uses channels that are owned by other people, therefore he isn't breaking any terms of service. His content is some of the best in the genre. He had the most content, the most arrests, and the most influence. Though he has been in a lot of controversies. His overall worst controversy is very heavily debated because two are horrible. One is completely irredeemable, completely disgusting, and should never ever have been made by anyone at any point at any time. And that's coming from somebody who is a big believer and fighter for free speech. I do not believe jokes like this should exist. It's a joke he made when he walked up to a random woman in a store, joking that he had a malnourished kid at home locked in his basement that he would do things to. It's inexcusable. It's awful. I say this is the worst one. Other people debate it for some reason, but this is the worst one. I know he was joking, but it's still awful. It's still disgusting, and I really, really can't iterate enough. Alex, do not make a joke like this again. It's not okay. The second is having a live skit of his friend acting like a minor, then his friend flashing his chest on stream. It's really poor taste, it's really disgusting, and infuriating that somebody who's making such a big influence and good influence on the world is doing this disgusting stuff behind closed, well, not closed doors, it was all on live stream, but, and a video he recorded, but like, it's disgusting that he would do this stuff, especially when he's fighting against this stuff. Luckily, he doesn't touch kids. He doesn't do things with kids. He doesn't do things with any children. He has a wife. To my full knowledge, he is not a predator. He just makes disgusting jokes. He's also had a very big controversy for people allegedly saying he allegedly used kids, to play the part of the fake minors, like actual minors to play the part of the fake minors, which is not true. These are false allegations, which is why I heavily said allegedly. What he did is a misconception. What he did was have people who used real pictures of themselves back when they were minors. These people now being adults, and these people being adults when they were playing the part of a minor. They used their own photos. No nudes were ever sent, of course, because they would not do that. Not these channels would, because they report them to the police, and they would see the whole conversation. If they sent nudes, they would be getting in trouble. He has also said the N-word and R-slur many times. I couldn't really care less about this because he was making humor out of words. Words that don't have meaning without putting hatred behind them. The only way to make R-slur and N-slur acceptable to use is in humor if done correct and properly. Even if so, I still think they should be okay to be used in humor, as long as it's not ill-willed. As somebody who fits under the category of the R-slur, I find jokes containing the word funny as fuck. I find people who use the words funny as fuck a lot of the times because a lot of them are just making jokes and playing games and shit. Like, it's funny. And I am mentally stunted, and yet I still accept this, like, as a funny joke. The N-word can be done right in a joke, even if it's taboo to some. I personally don't think he did do it in any kind of humorous way. I know he was trying to make it humorous, but it wasn't funny to me. It wasn't funny to a lot of people. Some maybe it was funny to. But he was trying to make a joke, so I'm not going to hold that against him. Comedy is based on personal taste, after all, even if it's not the best of taste. controversy aside, he has made a huge and great impact, and I sadly can't say I encourage catching them, or YouTube will put me in a guillotine faster than you can say mac and cheese, absolutely please. So I'm going to move on. Second, we have Colorado Pet Patrol. Like many in his genre, he specializes in one specific location. He specializes in Colorado, and he travels all of Colorado to catch these grease fiends. His parodies and his intros make the channel stand out, and I could listen to them on repeat. Admittedly, I have. Just like Alex, all creeps from the deep are turned into law enforcement. He is more aggressive than PPOfficial, though, as he breaks down everything directly, while Chet uses reverse psychology and psychological traps. CCP often gets arrests and has pointed out non-public information towards a handbook of a very, very, very infamous group towards catching these people from law enforcement, like law enforcement catching them, like a group working with them, where it says they do not help third-party investigative groups, which is vile when it's vile when these groups risk their lives to stop these people, stop these horrible, awful people, and who need to be arrested, if not worse. He has in the past gotten 2 police chiefs arrested for trying to meet a minor. Overall, his channel is very notable and has a good influence on his community, even if he gets heated. Also, he almost got shivved by a predator. Moving towards the next channel, we have CC Unit, who tends to always hide his face with a mask and uses the alias Ghost. He likes to act like a friend at the start of every video until breaking it to the predator. They know everything and shows the predator their own face, which is honestly funny. Then goes to the typical questions, but more so than the other channels, he shows his own personality during it. For some reason, most people who follow him, this genre, hates the guy, even when he collabs with predator poachers. I seriously see no reason why. He isn't as high quality as the others mentioned, but he's still one of my favorites. And generally, he has no real known controversies and he uploads regularly. All big pluses. But he could be mean, though I don't blame him with these kinds of people. Now we got Courtney Elizxbeth. She is vastly different, as you can notice. She uses her name. She also is, of course, female. Uniquely, she acts like the minor when first confronting, and due to being female, these creeps are more open, allowing extensive admissions. She has caught some of the worst creeps I've seen. Some admitting to having attractions as young as 13 to infants is revolting and infuriating to me. How can anyone even fathom thinking that way? She's probably the least known mentioned. I highly encourage watching all of these channels if you aren't squeamish. I personally have these channels under my playlist. I love them, and their movement, it also gives nostalgia of Chris Hansen at times. Thank you for taking a seat with me. Spread this for awareness. Honestly, I couldn't be happier to talk about the subject because I love these channels and I hope that you enjoy them. I've been loving Lucifer. I hope to see you next time.